Welcome back. This week on Wait You're Mad, we're talking about something that feels deeply personal to us as two Iowa girls, Midwest drinking culture. Because let's be honest, around here, drinks aren't just drinks. They're how friendships start, how we decompress, how we catch up, and sometimes how we accidentally end up solving life's problems.
We grew up with UV blue and lemonade, or if you're with me and Maddie, we tried making Pepsi blue with Pepsi and UV blue. We also grew up with Keystone Light and whatever someone's mom had in their fridge. Boone's Farm,
Or a
perhaps.
Bartles and James wine cooler.
Yes. But at some point in life, you finally taste a cocktail and think, wait, this is so good. I get it now. And today, we get to talk to someone who actually knows what he's doing behind a bar. Someone who can make a drink that tastes like a whole story.
So we're going to keep it short at the beginning today, but we don't want to skip our weekly segment, What Are You Mad About?
Okay, I'm really outing myself today, and I can't believe I'm actually having a cocktail right now, but I feel like I couldn't not have a cocktail with our guest today.
And you'll see why soon. We're actually forced to.
Yes, we are forced to. But I had a family wedding this weekend with my boyfriend's family out of town in his small hometown. And let's just say I did it up and I am having that anxiety like for 2 days post right now.
Oh, no.
I'm hoping, I always think it's worse than it actually is.
The
But
anxiety or...
yeah, like the way I remember myself, I think I always remember it worse. I hope I remember it worse than it is. But the most cringy thing I did was actually I did two things.
Oh, God. Please tell me.
Okay, one of the cringy things I did was I was talking to his cousin who's super, super cool. And they always rent a house in the Galena territory every year around Christmas for a family to come and get together. They have a massive family, you guys. They like take up an entire small town, I swear. But I was like, wouldn't it be fun if we did like a Christmas party bus this year? And she was like, yeah, that would be so fun. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm planning it. And then I proceed to tell every single person I talk to, guess what we're doing this year? I'm planning a party bus for us. And I can't remember if they were excited or if they were tolerating me or what the reaction was every time I brought it up. But you know me, when I'm excited about something when I'm drunk, I don't shut the fuck up about it.
I think it's endearing. I think I would be excited.
I don't know. Hopefully they were, but also now I'm questioning if I actually have to plan a party bus or not.
Oh, I think you do. I think to make it so that you weren't, so to make it seem like you weren't that drunk, you definitely have to act like you remembered
Yeah.
every piece of that and then definitely plan it.
Luckily, so I met them all exactly a year ago at Thanksgiving, basically. So we went a year without seeing each other, and then I planned a holiday for them. And now I get to redeem myself, though, on Thanksgiving. I see them again. So I can kind of feel the if everyone brings it up to me, then I know it's wanted. I'm not gonna bring it up myself. I think I talked about it enough. So I'll see how they feel after that. But that was the first thing that gave me the ick. Maddie, the second thing I did was I met one of his uncles for the first time. And we skipped the Catholic wedding because we were coming from out of town and we're like, there's a big gap in between. We're just going to come for the reception. And his uncle was like, how was the ceremony? And I was like, oh, we missed it. And he was like, oh, good. I'm not the only one. And I was a little bit tipsy. So then I started joking about how it's not the end of the world that we missed out on a Catholic mass. And while I'm talking, my boyfriend's catching my drift of where I was going. And he goes, he's a deacon. And I quickly started rambling and switched it into how I used to shoot weddings, and I went to a lot of Catholic weddings and I really tried to redeem myself, and next thing I know I'm talking about Atlanta and how I go there for work, and I don't know how that went. So
I think either of those things would happen if you were sober or not. I feel like you would be that. I feel like you would be the same.
Maybe.
I don't
But
think you completely change personalities.
I think the problem is I don't fully remember every single detail, and that's what bothers me because I remember everything. We talked about this last episode. I have a great memory
Yeah,
aside from when I am drinking. And so yeah.
as she takes a sip right now.
And I was drinking old fashions that night, and I'm drinking whiskey right now. So
Yeah, I think maybe it's the
something's gotta
choice of
go.
alcohol. That's some heavy shit, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyways, I figured everyone could relate. I was really outing myself. However, if you drink and you haven't had anxiety, then who the fuck are you? Are you a superhero?
Or
I
if
don't
you don't drink
understand.
anymore, it's probably because you can relate.
Oh, yes. Yeah, both. So, anyways, anything but this conversation. Maddie, what are you mad about this week?
Oh my goodness, that was a great one. I appreciate your vulnerability so
Thank
that we
you.
can all relate, but also have a little laugh.
Yeah.
So, what I'm mad about this week actually kind of has to do with drinking as well. I'm mad about the people who say, let me know when you get home, people, because when you say that, and I'm learning this is not true, but when people say that, I always thought it was a figure of speech, like a polite Midwestern goodbye thing, like drive safe, let me know when you get home. We should get dinner sometime. Like, I didn't really think it's a legally binding thing that people are going to like follow up on. And I'm realizing that every time when I'm out and I go home, lately I've been seeing texts in the morning that are like, "Hello, did you make it home?" And I'm like, "Oh my god, you actually like meant it." But when I get home, I always set my phone next to like the door or in the kitchen, and so I'm not really like looking at it. But yeah, I didn't realize it was like so intense. Or I don't even know if intense is the word, but I didn't think people actually cared.
You didn't think it was for real, which,
No.
Maddie, I am one of those people. And I think you probably don't know that because we're always traveling like 3 hours to see each other. So, of course, I mean, you usually do let me know when you get home, though. But I think it's usually we're like timing your drive a little bit. But anyone in town, especially if we had like a drink together, I'll be like, let me know when you get home because
Yeah.
I will work and I will follow up. I will worry, I mean, and I will follow up in the morning or even later that night being like, hey, just check in. Made it home safe, right?
Yep. So you're one of them, and
I
I'm not.
am.
So if I don't text you back, it's I probably made it home because I mean, if we were at that point, I always Uber. So I either Ubered home or you can look at my location, ask me to follow me. You can check me out, but I always
Yeah,
forget every single time.
that's true too. Like, I think I do have a lot of my friends on location, but I don't know. It's still, I worry. I'm turning into a worry wart with my old age. Like, I think of every possible terrible scenario that could happen between point A and B.
Even if it's
And
a 5 minute Uber ride.
yeah, I don't know if you can blame it on my huge heart or my anxiety.
A little bit of both, we'll say.
Maybe, perhaps it's both.
Well, the reason why we're talking about drinking is we have a guest, and his name is Carl Busch, and we're going to try to let him in the room here. Hi, Carl. Welcome.
Hi
Welcome.
guys. Hi ladies. How we doing?
Good. Good. We're so
Good.
excited to have you. We're excited to have
Yeah.
some fun. We're excited to have some drinks.
Yes, I said normally I wouldn't be having a drink tonight, but I felt like I had to considering our guest.
Yep. Yeah.
Kind of have to when it's me, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I wish you were the one making my drink, versus me.
Well,
Okay.
Lex, will you introduce our guest?
Yes. So we have Carl Busch here today. Carl has been bartending for over 15 years in Eastern Iowa and has won Iowa's top mixologist 3 times. So that was in 2013, 2021, and 2023. In July of 2024, he purchased EJ's wine shop and tasting room with partners, now overseeing daily operations and developing the cocktail program. He also produces educational content via his website, carlbusch.com, and YouTube, sharing bartending insights with home enthusiasts and industry peers. He believes great cocktails should be approachable, not pretentious. We love that.
Thank you, AI, for helping me write that bio.
It was very well written and I didn't fuck it up. So that's a plus too.
Woo.
But before we get to know Carl a little bit better, we couldn't think of a more on-theme way to kick off this episode than with a wine chug. Because if you follow EJ's, you already know.
Carl, for anyone listening who's confused why two grown women are about to aggressively chug wine on a Monday night, can you please tell our listeners why we're doing this?
So yeah, 70 days ago, I had a friend at the wine shop with a couple other friends, and they're younger. They're way younger. So I'll be 45 in a week, and they're way younger, and so they like trendy shit. I'm like, what if I chugged a glass of wine every day till we get to 5,000 followers? They're like, that's a brilliant idea. And so yes, we are on. Well, we won't count this as a day because I don't know what day this is going to come out. And I don't want to do math in the future.
Yep.
But so yeah, today when I go to the wine shop to go restock, today will be day 70 of me chugging a glass of wine every day. So yeah, it's fun and stupid at the same time, but
it's good for your heart, right?
bad for my liver. But yes. But okay? So interesting fact though, the video that we did, or that I did with you two and your other two friends, that's the most viewed chugging video that we've done.
I love it.
Okay, I have to admit, it was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be, maybe because I already had a glass prior. So today I'm doing white because I think that maybe that would be easier for me to chug than the red was that night.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah, absolutely. White's always going to be easier because it's chilled, it's colder, it's less, body weight, and all this other bullshit, wine snob, pretentious shit. But yes, it's easier. But I don't know. What kind of wine are we drinking, ladies?
I am drinking some shitty wine I was gifted a while ago that's been sitting in my basement for over a year. Some sweet red wine.
Sweet.
I have a bottle of wine that someone I work with left over at my house on Friday night, which is like, this is the last day that I would probably drink it. And it was in my refrigerator. It's a Clos du Bois Sauvignon Blanc, a nice 2024 vintage. So
there we go.
Way to use it up. Way to use it up. Can't waste that.
One of my wine reps gave me this, and this is probably bad 2 days ago, but I'm still going to do it because I don't want to open a new bottle of wine tonight.
Understood.
It's a red from Spain. I don't really know much else about it.
So with your wine chugs, how many bottles of wine do you think you go through a week just on chugging?
I mean, if it's by myself, it's 5 ounces a day, 7 days. That's 30. So probably, a bottle and a half.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
not
But if I invite people on, it's pretty.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm saying you're consuming a bottle and a half of wine a week. I mean, I feel like some people probably easily do that without chugging wine every single day. So
Right.
it's not that bad.
I think I drink at least a bottle and a half a week. So
Yeah, I was going to say.
But that's me just chugging the glass of wine. There are,
Yeah.
I do more than just that,
Yes,
So
that's true.
I also
We
got
can't
this
factor
fucking thing
that,
in
though.
it. So,
Okay, shall we?
yep.
All right.
All right.
Down the hatch. Bon appetit.
Down the hatch. Here we
Cheers,
go.
ladies.
All
I
right.
can't believe I just did that at my house.
Every time, that was my third time doing it, and every time I'm just happy if I'm not last. So
was I last again?
I beat you by like not even a second, but also I had way more wine than you. I'm not trying to like brag, but
I'm not a chugger. I can't. I've never been able to do like a beer bong. I've never been able to do like anything like that. I'm terrible.
do you guys remember when people were classified as like quote unquote good drinkers if they could like consume alcohol, like disgusting alcohol very quickly?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
It's a talent.
So
When
Maddie
I
was
lived-
not a good drinker.
When I lived in Dubuque the first time, between 05, 09, I was here when the Buffalo Wild Wings first opened up, and I was a server there part-time. And so we would go out drinking afterwards, and I would do a full pint of SoCo Red Bull and then followed up by a beer and just chug the two, like back to back. And I remember this one night, it was like some guy didn't believe I could do it. I did it. Then he invited 2 more of his friends over to see me do it again. And I did it again, like back to back. And I'm like, oh, this is such a horrible idea.
Caught up in the moment.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Carl, this is kind of weird because I know like technically I met you while you were filming my friend's wedding way back in the day.
Yep.
But however, did we work at Buffalo Wild Wings together before that? You definitely, if you worked there when it first opened, you worked with my sister
Oh,
for
really?
sure. Yes, my older sister, who is your age. And I worked there not too long after, and she trained me as a server. And then I went off to college at UNI, so I would come back for breaks after that.
I
But
mean, I was there for anywhere. I don't remember exactly. It was 8 months to a year, I think.
Where are you from originally, Carl?
Muscatine.
Muscatine. Okay, what brought you to Dubuque?
8 years ago, my wife and I moved up here to help raise my kids. But now they're 22 and 20, so now we're stuck here in Dubuque forever.
And now
Stuck or
you
thriving? You're
yeah,
thriving.
you found your career. You own a wine bar and tasting room. Sounds like you're thriving.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
somebody
no.
who's investing like literally their time, effort, and money into the community. Can you tell us a little bit about the wine bar that you own and manage, EJ's Wine Shop?
So EJ, him and his sister started El May years ago. And so he sold the restaurant 15 years into it, I think. And so then he started EJ's Wine Shop January of 2024. And then in July of 2024, my business partners and I bought it from him. And the reason why we bought it from him was Darren, who owns Wayfair Coffee, called me and goes, "Hey, this guy is selling his wine shop. I know who you are. This is kind of up your alley." And the whole reason why we thought it would be a good idea was, well, the price was really right for it. But then also that's kind of the style of bartending and hospitality I like, where it's a little bit higher end, where it's a little bit nichier, where, you know, you're not going to just go to get Jackson Cokes and get loaded all the time. But I kind of like that higher end stuff where there's more story behind the products that you're drinking and that people appreciate. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of really it. Like, it just kind of fit because my business partners, we want to open up a couple other type of styles, like a cocktail bar, a liquor store, eventually here in Dubuque. And this kind of fits what we want to do in our portfolio. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And if
Yeah,
you
so-
have not been to EJ's, it's a wine shop located in Dubuque's historic Millwork district, and it's a wine shop and tasting room. So
Yep.
basically, it has spaces that offers curated wines, craft cocktails, imported beers, and if you have ever met Carl or been there before, if you haven't, you should. You'll understand what we mean when these cocktails are not what you would find in an average Dubuque bar. Everything is really, really carefully curated, it seems.
Mhm.
When you walk into
And
the
that's-
shop, you get that vibe.
That's what I like about EJ's too, Carl, and why I think it's like so specific to you and who you are. I think when I first started really getting to know you, you were at the Julian. And my favorite times was when you weren't busy and you got to like talk about the drinks with me and talk through like how you created them. But then they would get so busy and you would get like the wedding crowds and things like that. And I feel like at EJ's, you get more one-on-one time with people
Yeah.
to be able to do that again. And it's so interesting.
Yeah,
Maddie
that-
and I specifically loved that mezcal drink with the wine floater at the
Oh,
top. And I remember you explaining it to us like it was a story.
Yeah.
Like it was beautiful.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's what people, when I worked at the Riverboat Lounge, that's what people really liked, right? They would listen to me, not like I'm trying to take over like bartending, but like tell the stories of how this and this or this happened, because I don't think there's really a lot of that in town. You know, I mean, you got John from Brazen, but he's in a restaurant environment, so he doesn't have really time to talk about things one-on-one. When you're at a more of a bar setting, there is more free time, there is more time to do that. And I think people love to hear history, not even just about my cocktails, but about the wine that they're going to drink or the beer that they're going to drink. Like when something's 200 plus years old, right, or has a history that's 200 plus years old, people in the United States don't really think about it because the United States is barely, 250, 300 years old, whatever the fuck it is. I think people appreciate learning about things. And, you know, I'm very passionate about what I do. I'm lucky to be good at it and also to be able to communicate that with people, I think, because that's another part, right? Like you could be good at making cocktails, but sometimes the communication to the guest is hard to do, which, trust me, I didn't just learn how to do that. You learn over time, just like with anything else. But That is the part. I know, like Addie, like you said, you come in all the time, and I don't even know how to say this
All
without
the
sounding like
time.
a
Not
dick.
all the time. No, I'm
Not
just
all the
kidding.
time, but you got okay. So like the bars I work at, my regulars come in maybe once a month or twice a month at most, right? It's not like,
Yeah.
oh, 5 days in a row, here you are, just fucking ponying up to the bar, drinking old fashions all night long.
That's what's
Which
going
there are
on.
places
Okay.
to do that too. Yeah.
Yeah, but like it was also not unusual, but when you bring your friends in, like it doesn't always happen where just a group of women would come in at the bar just by themselves who locally come into the bar and get cocktails or that are interested in good cocktails. I'm not saying women don't like good cocktails. I'm just saying like it was unusual for just a group. Like 'cause it was, and you were also on the person that you would always bring someone else in all the time, right? And that stuff, it feels good. It makes myself feel good when people are doing that, and but you also guys were interested in listening, like, oh, how I came up with this or why did I do this, but I think that's part of it. And I think you're right. At EJ's, it happens a little bit more because we're not as busy as a Riverboat Lounge because we're not a cocktail bar.
People
But
are really savoring their drinks because of the thought that's put
Yeah.
into it, and every sip is delicious and you're savoring it. It's not a quick down 3 Jack and Cokes and I've had 20 of these,
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm not signing Carl up to do this, but I'll also never forget one time when I was on my espresso martini kick years ago. You're like, have you ever had an espresso martini with Hennessy? And you tracked down like people to go get us espresso and made me like one of the best espresso martinis I've ever had too. And it's just very cool having someone that can like switch it up according to what you like too. Like, of
Yeah.
course, you have an outstanding menu, but you actually know it enough to change it up on the spot if needed.
What's the process of creating drinks? Because I've
I
tried to
was
make drinks at home. Like I'll be like, oh, I have this in my cabinet, and I'll try to put like 3 things together that you think would taste good, and it tastes like absolute trash. And I'm
Yeah.
like, you don't have to drink that. I just tried, and I don't
Yeah.
know how people get them to taste good.
years of experience in drinking a lot. That's how you get good at it. No, but no, that's really that's kind of the semi-truth. I mean, I've been doing this for 15 years, so it comes pretty easy naturally for me to kind of put things together and like realize, I think what people should start doing is drinking the classic cocktails that are out there that have been around for like 100 years. A real daiquiri, not this blended bullshit. Like a daiquiri, an old-fashioned Manhattan. Anything that's been around, and then just take that and sub out one ingredient for something else and see what happens to it. Or like with the syrup, change the syrup for whatever season you're in and see what happens. Like do little things. Don't try to over complicate it because at the end of the day, they say there's only like 7 ways to tell a story, right? Like there's only 7 plots or ways to tell a story, and all movies and books are based off those 7 things. Well, in cocktails, there's only 5 cocktails, and everything else is just riffs of those. So you take these original blueprints, and you just sub out one piece at a time. Just by adding like a little bit of cinnamon to a syrup can change texture and quality of it. So it's a process. But like at the wine shop, what I try to always do is have an old-fashioned riff, espresso martini riff, a mule, and a spritz. So those are always going to be 4 drinks that'll be on the menu and just different versions of them. And then the other 4 can be whatever, who knows. But those are the type of 4 that I'm always going to have a version of it because people like those style of drinks. People always love mules. People always love spritzes, old fashions, so.
Yeah, that's a good.
Does that make sense?
That's a good quad. Yeah.
Carl, do you remember you actually like really accelerated my love for old fashions. Do you remember at the Julian which old fashioned I was obsessed with that you had on the menu?
My guess is a s'mores old fashioned.
Yeah, it was awesome. You said you had like a homemade marshmallow simple syrup that was like the main, but it was also smoked. It was so good, and I think you had it on your menu
Last
once
year.
since, and I was so happy to see it.
You do guided tastings and you do wine pairing nights and feature nights. What does this experience look like? For instance, I know that December 13th, you're having a wine and cookie night.
So we started a couple months ago making sure to start doing first Friday of the month a wine and something pairing. Wine and cheese. We did a wine and dessert. We want to try to make sure people are understanding like how well wine can pair with things. And so we set a menu 4 wines and 4 things to pair with it. Wine is so diverse. There's so many different flavors, profiles, they can work with. So
This episode comes out December 5th. So the following weekend, next Saturday, December 13th, will be a cookie and wine tasting at EJ's in Dubuque.
we're actually going to do it the 12th and the 13th.
They're actually going to do
Hell
it the
yeah.
12th and the 13th.
So,
Yeah.
so the reason why we're doing that is because the dessert one, that was my first sellout. And I had so many people who still want to do it.
No, that's
yeah,
pretty great.
that sounds great.
I'm excited.
Yeah, we'll be
cool.
there. So where can we buy tickets?
Yeah.
You can go to our website, ejswineshop.com, and then there'll be an events tab at the top, and then you'll see 2 different events. One's for Friday, one's for Saturday, and you just buy the tickets on there.
Awesome.
All right. I do want to dive into your past a little bit, but I think we wrap up the holiday discussion real quick. How can people support EJ's Wine Bar this holiday season?
Just come on down. If you're not big into wine, that's fine. I definitely try to get you into something that you like, something different. I mean, we sell gift cards. Buy a bottle of wine for someone. Our prices are very comparable to like what Hy-Vee prices are. Now, I don't have like an $8 bottle, right? Like those are mass-produced wines that they can get away with it.
And Carl, I don't know if you're ready to talk about, are you going to be bottling any of your cocktails?
So that is actually, the answer is yes. Starting on Friday, so the 28th, we are starting to can cocktails that we offer. So if you want some of the cocktails that I make to go, they're 8-ounce cans, and you can take them to go and drink them at home, give them to someone for the holidays, drink them because you have to deal with your family, because I know families cannot be great sometimes.
Well, don't forget to stop down to EJ's for your gift considerations this holiday season or tasting events.
Yes. If you
What
need
happened
wine
with
for your
that?
holidays, stop down there, support local, have somebody walk you through what wines that you or your family might prefer, or beer or cocktails.
Or
So,
cocktails.
There's not someone, it's all me.
Yes.
Carl's not that intimidating. You guys can do it. Go
Yeah.
ahead, stop in.
Yeah,
He is
no, I
pretty
mean,
tall. He is pretty tall and intimidating.
He
though.
is
I'm only
pretty
6.
tall, but just know that he likes it when you like what he gives you. So you can make him
Lie to
happy
me.
really easily.
this tastes so good.
Yeah, that's right.
I like that guy.
Oh my
Mhm.
goodness. Okay, now that we know the story behind EJ's, let's talk about the man behind the bar. When did you first start bartending? How did you get into it?
Were you checking for someone else behind you?
Behind the bar, yeah. You like that?
Yeah, you're like, who? Oh, me?
Me? What?
Oh,
What other guy? I don't know.
who? Me?
Okay, so this goes back to the story of me and why I moved to Dubuque. So, like I said earlier, when I broke up with the mother of my kids, or she broke up, whatever, who gives a shit? When, when we were
Okay,
done, and I
totally
moved
dumpster
back to
guy.
Cedar Rapids in 09, I had to find a job because now I have child support. Now I have to like rent and be an adult.
Mhm.
Well, whatever. So I answered a Craigslist ad. And for anyone who's too young to know what Craigslist is, just Google it. And it was a scary world that no one thought that was that scary at the time. So anyways, I answered an ad because this catering company needed a bartender. And I was like, okay, I don't know anything about bartending. I bartended like this much, and I'm holding my fingers not very far from each other when I worked at Buffalo Wild Wings. And so I answered the ad, and I started doing that, working for a catering company, bartending, and then they asked me to go bartend at their steakhouse, which was like a fine dining establishment. We had to wear black pants, white shirt, black vest, black tie, right? It was very like formal. And then I got bored making the same drinks. I made like an old fashioned Cosmo and a martini all the time.
Where was this?
So in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, called Winifred's.
Okay. Never
The restaurant no longer exists. The catering company still does. And so I got bored and I asked the chef, like, hey, can I start like trying to make my own drinks? And this was before like YouTube was YouTube. This is before like really the internet. I mean, the internet was the internet, but like not how it is today. So I self-taught myself. I had no one mentoring me. No one telling me what to do, what's wrong, what's right. We basically just put shit in a glass and see if it tasted good. And I started realizing, oh, I'm actually pretty good at this. And then I found the competition for Iowa's Top Mixologist. And then that was 2012. I did not place at all the first time, but you learn a lot, right? You learn how the judging worked and how this worked and what other people were doing. And then the second year I entered was the first year I won. And then that kind of like solidified, like, oh, I kind of like this. I'm kind of good at it. What can happen if I actually put more effort into it? And then that was it. Oh, this is what I'm going to do with my life because this is what I'm good at. And I make a shit ton of money doing it. And I don't like the 9-to-5 job. I'm not a 9-to-5 job kind of person. I like the late hours. I like the interacting with people and stuff. So that is kind of like how I got into like making cocktails. And then after that, moving around and keep doing it over and over again.
Wow. So you entered the competition because you'd heard of it. What does that look like? How many people were in it? And what does the Iowa Top Mixologist competition look like?
So basically what you got to do is they give you 3 categories and there's a different spirit in each category. So you pick a spirit out of that category, then you got to make a cocktail. So that's 3 cocktails you got to make.
Were they difficult or were they pretty run of the mill?
The spirit?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like
would they choose something strange to kind of like try to get you off?
Oh no,
your
no.
game, or was
it was like
vodka or okay.
Yeah, like one would have been like a sparkling category. One would have been like, some sort of bourbon or tequila. One would have been like vodka. They never have done like gin or rum. And that was always my complaint. Like, why aren't you doing these other spirits? So then you have judges. And so you have 3 judges.
Do you mind if I ask this quick? Do you know the spirit ahead of time?
Yes.
So you can go in knowing what you're going to make. Okay.
Yeah. So you have like 2 weeks to prep.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah. So they gave you everything, and then you have 2 weeks to prep, and then you go to the competition and do the thing, right?
Okay.
You got 3 judges, but you need to make the drink 4 times because you need each drink for each judge, and you need a 4th drink for the photo. And so then you also only get 20 minutes time limit for everything. So I got to make 12 drinks within 20 minutes. And that's really easy to do. But while you're making your drinks, you have to explain to the judges why you chose this ingredient, why you did this. Why did I make this syrup for, and why did I think it was going to work with this spirit? Like, it was more than just making the drinks and here you go. It was what Lexi said earlier, why she liked coming to the bar, because I would talk about the shit. And if you get good at that, it helps your score. So yeah, that's basically it at the end of the day. And the judges score, and then whoever gets the most points wins. And my second year.
Sorry, I was going to say you gave everyone a hot Carl that year.
Yeah, it was so good.
Did it do well?
What's a hot Carl?
Oh my God. It's when someone shits in your mouth.
Oh my God. I was not expecting that
so
at
glad
all.
you asked that.
Well,
and did they like it?
Yeah, because like half people didn't understand what it was. They just thought I was naming a drink after myself. But it was a hot cider drink. It was like Jim Beam Black, and I made some cider, like it was a hot drink and it tasted good. It just, unfortunately, it was in the middle of summer, so it wasn't really like appropriate for a summer cocktail, But
Daddy says, "What's that?"
Wow.
I love it.
How am I?
Okay,
how did
I'm
2 out of 3 people know what this means?
Oh
yeah,
no!
Well, there were people
you
out there that
you
were
not
like,
go to Urban Dictionary?
No, not since like 2009.
You missed a couple of pages, obviously.
I did. Is it Carl spelled with a C or a K?
A C. The only way to spell it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry for the interruption. This was a good story until that happened.
This clip, when you guys chop this up about what is a hot Carl, that'll be your number 1 clip.
Because some people, now I'm glad we brought it up, because some people had no idea how brilliant that was.
Yeah.
Yeah. I pride myself on knowing vocabulary, but that one was, yeah.
Sometimes Lex teaches Matt a thing or two.
Sometimes you're not the smartest person on the podcast.
Yeah.
Okay, can I tell you another story that won't live up to that, but I think it's still pretty funny.
We would love to hear a story about something similar to that.
Yeah.
Keep the
Okay,
poops and
so-
farts coming, please.
What's that?
I said, keep the poops and farts coming, please.
Okay. Well, this won't be either of those, but okay, so that was year one. So year two, back then, 2012, 2013, I didn't like Bloody Marys because I didn't like the tomato juice in a Bloody Mary, right? But I'd always been wondering, why the fuck does tomato juice have to be in a Bloody Mary? Like, what can we do to not have tomato juice? And so then I basically created this drink called a not so bloody teeny. Basically, I took vodka and infused 24, 22 ingredients into it, made a vodka martini with a jalapeno salt rim on it, right?
Yeah.
And so back then, when I was 40 pounds lighter, and shorter hair, a lot of people would tell me I would look like Sheldon. And I didn't know who the fuck they were talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, anyways, so I made this not so bloody drink. And then my third drink of this competition, I made this other drink, which was Jim Beam Honey, because that was, again, one of the spirits, Jim Beam Honey. Like, who the fuck is making high-end cocktails with Jim Beam Honey, right?
Mm-hmm.
No one. And so I used Jim Beam Honey and Saint Germain, and I made that into a dessert cocktail. And it was just equal parts. It wasn't anything radical. So anyways, I didn't know what to name this cocktail. And then, what's his tagline?
Bazinga.
Bazinga. So I named the drink Bazinga because my buddy was like, just name it Bazinga because you look like Sheldon. We don't know what else to call it. I'm like, perfect. And so I make the drink, or I create the drink, and that's what we call it. Well, 2 nights before the first regional, we are at Walmart, me and my roommate, and there is a fucking t-shirt with Sheldon and Bazinga on the fucking shirt. And so I'm like, I'm buying that motherfucker. And so my whole thing was I put the shirt on, but then I put like a nice long sleeve shirt on. So when I'm doing the competition, you just see me in this fucking long sleeve shirt. But then after I made the not so bloody teeny, because I was drink number 2, like, oh man, it's getting really hot in here. So I take my long sleeve shirt off, and now people see Sheldon's face with Bazinga on it. And then some woman goes, he made his own shirt with his own face on it.
That's
And so
hilarious.
that's why I think I won the regionals that time was because
was that the year you won?
yeah, that was my first year I won. And so I did the same thing. Because again, you're supposed to like make sure everyone's having a good time, right? I'm a bartender.
Yeah.
This is what I'm
That's
doing, right?
True. That's true.
Well,
And
that's
so, like,
great.
And someone came up to me like later, like she goes, "That just wasn't fair." I go, "Look, I'm sorry that I figured this all out, but like this is part of the game. It's a game that we're playing, right?
Whose bar are you going to go to? The whiner or yours? Who's having
Yeah.
fun?
Right,
I was
exactly.
gonna say, bartending is so creative based, and so it makes sense that creativity is weighed so heavily in competitions like this,
Mm-hmm.
and
Showmanship,
putting that
if you
extra
will.
effort, and that's amazing.
Yeah, it's more than just making a cocktail, right? At the end of the day, a bartender or mixologist, like I know people have issues with the word mixologist, but you're still there to entertain people. You're still there to like make sure people are having a good time. You know, like that's your job, is to be a showman or showwoman, whatever, show person, whatever.
Okay,
You
what's
know,
your
like-
take on the word mixologist?
Yeah,
Or
I want to
what
know
are the
what's
different
the issue.
Yeah, what are the different takes on the word mixologist in your biz?
So basically, a bartender is a person who sits behind the bar and makes drinks for people, right? That's everyone. If you're behind the bar, you're a bartender.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, a mixologist is a person who creates cocktails and pushes the envelope of what a drink can taste like. So, not every bartender is a mixologist, but every mixologist is a bartender.
Ah, I love that
But-
answer.
There are some people who just hate the word mixologist because it's super pretentious.
But the saying you said about mixologists and bartenders reminds me of like the mezcal tequila saying.
It's the same as bourbon whiskey. All bourbon is whiskey, but not all whiskey is bourbon. So it's the same. All tequila is mezcal, but not all mezcal is tequila. So
Or other way.
Boom.
Or is that true? Wait,
no, it's true. No,
That's true.
all mezcal. Wait, all tequila is mezcal?
but not all mezcal is tequila. So here's how I say this to people. Because people ask, because people are like, oh, mezcal is just smoky tequila. I'm like, technically you're wrong, but you know.
It's an easy way to explain it if someone doesn't know what it is. Like
Yeah.
it's an easy way, but it's not technical.
So here's the easiest way for explaining this. I go, people, you understand that whiskey is an umbrella term, right? And then that pulls that hold up that umbrella are bourbon, Scotch, Japanese, Irish whiskey, right? These poles hold up that umbrella. Does that make sense? Okay. So then mezcal is the umbrella term for all agave spirits, and tequila is a pole that holds it up, because mezcal can be made with any agave species out there, and there's like over 160, I believe, but tequila can only be made with Blue Weber agave.
Wow. I would have thought the opposite. That
That's what
mezcal
everyone
was
thinks.
under the umbrella of tequila.
But it's weird because you drink mezcal, you don't really just drink whiskey. Because if you say you drink whiskey, well, what kind of whiskey you're drinking? No one says, well, what kind of mezcal you're drinking? You're just drinking mezcal.
Yeah.
But also tequila is so popular and so well known that people just assume that tequila is the main thing.
That makes sense.
I'm out here trying to fucking educate people. And so is Lexi,
And you
obviously.
just did. And you did a very good job. So I loved that this conversation went this direction.
Absolutely.
You just taught everyone something today. Okay. With over 15 years behind the bar, do you have any stories to tell us about some of the people that you have served over the years? Even just one.
Where do I start? Okay, so in Cedar Rapids at the time, this one would always come in before everyone else because she would have like large meetings and like dinners for everyone. But she came in one time. I made the not so bloody teeny for her. She goes, "Oh my God, this is so amazing." And she ended up drinking like 3 within an hour, which we're talking 3-ounce vodka martinis is what she's drinking. And she's just crushing, right? Then she goes to dinner. They're having dinner, like 10 of them, you know, they're doing this whole steaks and wine thing. And so anyways, she goes to the bathroom and we don't see her for like fucking 15, 20 minutes. And we're like, God damn it. Like, you know, we know what she's doing in there. She passed the fuck out is what she did, you know. Like, what do you do? And so got to go to the servers who were women, got to go in there and get them. And then we had to call her fucking husband, who was pissed that we overserved her. I'm like, dude, she's not a fucking adult. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry that she doesn't understand what the word martini means. That this isn't some like sugary martini that has like, you know, 1 ounce of alcohol and 2 ounces of sugar in it. And he just got so upset at us. I'm like, just take your wife and go home. But I also think like, I don't think she was used to drinking that much alcohol. Cause like okay, so I think this goes back to a problem I have with the word martini. People think like any drink in a martini glass is considered a martini and that it's not going to be super alcohol forward. And I think that's what happened to her. She didn't realize, oh, this is 3 ounces of vodka per drink, and not realizing that she's guzzling this much, right?
Well, here's the real issue. The real issue is Carl made too good of a fucking drink that she didn't know she was drinking pure vodka. Yes.
Facts.
And she came back and apologized. Like, look, it's fine. Like, you know, it's not that big of a deal. It's not like you barfed everywhere and we had to clean it up. You know, like you got too drunk, and who knows how that fucking meeting went with, or not the meeting, but how did the dinner go with the people that you work with went? Like, who knows how that went? But like, you know, okay. So if you want to know more stories about me or about my bartending experience, I do have a podcast.
Yes, this is the perfect time to plug his podcast. Was it, Do You Want to Start a Tab?
Do you want to start a tab?
Would you like to start a tab?
I think it's like one of the best names of a podcast for a bartending podcast ever.
I love it. It's great.
My wife is pretty awesome.
Yeah, Carl and his wife have a podcast. We just learned about this today. So Carl doesn't talk about this enough, obviously. But you read Reddit stories of bartending horrors and you talk about it. Is that correct?
Yeah, and we just kind of talk about the story. How was the story fucked up? Who was right? Who was wrong? How could it have been changed? How it could be handled differently? And so we started the podcast kind of like as a joke, but also like, let's just talk about something that we both know about, hospitality industry. Other people have told us like, oh, I didn't know that's how you're supposed to handle yourself in a restaurant or bar. Like they're like telling me it's like learning. They're learning how to like be socially acceptable in bars or restaurants. Don't be fucking assholes.
I love it.
So here's our tagline: don't be a dick, tip your bartenders, and drink responsibly. That's our tagline.
Oh my God.
And I concur. Tip your bartenders, especially if they're Carl. Okay, so we're going to give Carl a list of random scenarios foods, moods, or just life situations in general. And he has to answer with a drink or wine he would pair it with, or you can spare it if it's unpairable. Okay?
Yep.
So we're going to go through one by one.
Nothing's unpairable. Let's put it that way.
All right. I can't wait then. Okay. First scenario. What would you pair with a first date with someone who won't stop talking about their ex?
That's 100% an old fashioned.
And why?
On. I feel targeted.
Why?
What?
That's my drink.
Yeah, but okay, so you're telling me if you're going on a date with a guy and he won't shut about your ex, you don't want to drink an old fashioned because it's
Okay. Yes, I see what you're doing there. So
yes, if you and I go on a date together,
me,
Lexi, you can talk about your ex, I'm going to pound old fashions all together.
Okay. I like it.
To get
right? Is that what you mean? Like, right? That's what.
Yes, you did it right.
Like, I'm not drinking a vodka soda, you know? Like, I'm like.
This isn't light and effervescent.
So, like, what's your reasoning behind that? Why an old fashioned?
Well, I think because an old fashioned is classic, anyone can order it and not be judged. But also like it's boozy as fuck and you can sip on it a little bit. You can kind of go through it a little bit faster than like, let's say a Manhattan. But also like, I don't want to hear you fucking talk about your ex anymore, but this is just get me through that time. And hopefully I don't drink more than 3 and you still haven't shut the fuck up yet.
You just explained all the reasons why I love old fashions, actually.
Yeah.
Yep. Awesome. Nailed it. He's going to do very well at this game.
I passed. Let's go.
Okay, what is the best thing to pair with the Sunday Scaries?
The Sunday Scaries?
Mm-hmm.
What's that?
Like not
he
looking
hasn't
forward
had a 9 to 5.
Well, he doesn't work a 9 to 5. So the Sunday Scaries is basically having anxiety about going to work on Monday. Like this
You're just like dreading the work week.
This cloud of doom that overhangs your soul on a Sunday.
Man. So I think that'd be a wine night. I think that would be a good white, crisp, kind of light wine, like a Gruner or like a good dry Riesling. Because at the end of the day, like you don't want to be super hungover, so you don't want to do reds, right? Like, but you want to do something that's still good and still going to like not feel horrible when you're kind of wine drunk and you're going to enjoy yourself, but you can still wake up the next day and get the week going.
You heard it here, guys. Pair that at your next Sunday.
It's like nice and light. It kind of brightens your vibe. It clears the clouds a little bit.
Yep, absolutely.
I love it. Okay. What about girls' night when everyone shows up with a different emotional crisis?
So relatable, right, Carl?
Yeah.
He's like,
I mean, I serve the girls' night all the time.
He served our girls' night.
Yeah. So the obvious answer is an espresso martini. That's the obvious answer, right? Like that's like the layup answer.
Yes.
But I think if you all do a shot of Malort, it all puts everything to a keel line. And like we all have the same hatred for the rest of the night. And it's a level playing field after that.
And then everyone breathes fire for the rest of the night.
Right.
Wow.
That's bold.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Girls' night.
I don't know.
Malort.
I think that would end
Haven't
really
heard of it.
badly, but that's me.
But like girls' night, I see too many girls' nights, and it's just like, this isn't
You're
that
like,
fun.
let's switch
like,
it
what
up.
the fuck, man? Like, let's go.
Be
Like, if you're
fucking
having girls'
real.
night, let's go.
Yeah.
Because like too many times they'll come in, and they'll just get like a bottle of bubbles or something else, and that's fine. Like I understand, but like, don't tell me it's girls' night and you're done by fucking 8:00. That's not girls' night. That's girl midday. Like, come on. Like, let's go.
Agreed. Okay. Watching your hometown couple publicly fight on Facebook.
What kind of like? So I'm sitting at home scrolling through Facebook, and I can see these two just arguing online.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What cocky do you need to pair that with?
All right, I think that's going to be a Merlot Malbec kind of night, right? Like, I think you want something a little bit more fuller body, a little bit higher tannins. You want a little bit of that dryness because, like, you get to watch the world on fire, but through a phone about these two people that you know. But also, like you can be pretentious and like, ha ha ha, I get to watch a show, but I don't have to be involved in it.
I'm into that. I love that. I also thought maybe like, gosh, what pairs well with like popcorn? You know how people like eat popcorn while they're watching something like a Pinot Grigio or a Chardonnay? Like
because
popcorn.
popcorn's buttery, salty.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think like a Chardonnay would do good. I think that would be a good choice too.
Yeah, but again, Merlot, you're spot on.
Yeah.
I can like you're kind of warm and fuzzy in your own like
Mm.
cocoon with your blanket on. Yeah.
Right. And then you're like, oh man, I thought my life was shitty until Steve and Sarah got on Facebook, you know?
Yes, Merlot's like a nice, warm, smug little drink. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, switching it up on this one. What would you pair with your friend when your friend says, "Let's just stop for one drink"?
If he
Oh,
says,
God.
let's just stop for one drink, what that drink's going to be.
Wait, do you
Okay,
want the
so-
night to continue on? Is that the goal?
Yeah, I think that's the goal. They're
Okay,
like,
so that's what I
"Let's
was
just
gonna say,
stop
like,
for
is this-
one," and you're
like-
like, "All right, strategically."
Oh, yep. Only one.
Yeah.
Only one.
Wink.
Wink, 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 wink.
Yeah.
For me, it would be a Negroni. Because I like sophisticated drinks, but also the bitterness and the booze. Like that extra booze is going to kind of get you like going. But like if say like we're literally only going to have one, we're going to call it night, then a beer, right? Like whatever beer
Yeah.
you drink. But like if we know like we're winking this and like, haha, let's get into some fucking trouble. Ooh, you know what? No, let's do a Boilermaker, a beer and a shot.
Oh, that's called a Boilermaker. Okay.
Yeah. So yes, that I changed my answer from a Negroni to a Boilermaker. So it's going to
Okay.
be a beer either way. Do I add the shot to it or not? And the
There
shot
you
is
go.
either going to be Sambuca or Rumpelmans.
Oh my
That's
God.
strategic. That's strategic. Okay. Do you have any other real quick tips to like quickly elevate a drink from a
Make
a
your own
typical
fucking
mix?
syrups. Stop buying that shit.
Okay.
Like and use real lemon and lime juice. Like I understand like this sounds like, oh, it's a lot of work, but it is 100% a game changer when making cocktails. Making your own syrups is not that hard. It's cost effective on the restaurant side of things, and it's so much better than buying that fucking finest call bullshit.
Okay. For someone that doesn't know how to make simple syrup,
Yep.
high level, you boil water and sugar and flavors together, or do you want to add more to that?
It depends what type of syrup we're making, right? Like if we're
Okay.
making like a raspberry syrup, all it is go buy frozen raspberries from your grocery store, whatever the weight of that is, right? It's usually like 400 grams. Do 400 grams of water, 400 grams of sugar, mix it all together and let it sit for 24 hours and strain it out. You have raspberry syrup. Easy
Okay.
as fuck.
Yeah.
But if you want to step up your games, impress your friends, that's the way to do it. If you want to find yourself a good wife, you make your own fucking syrups.
I like
There you
it.
go. I love it. What a very good tidbit to end the episode on, actually.
Yeah. And don't buy overproduced wine from Napa and Sonoma counties, please.
Yeah. Buy it from EJ's wine shop or else.
But dude, Carl, thanks so much for joining. I do want to plug, go to EJ's Wine Shop if you're ever in Dubuque, Iowa, and make sure to follow them on Instagram because we want him to eventually stop drinking and chugging a glass of wine a day. What's your Instagram handle?
It's all social medias are EJ's Wine Shop.
EJ's Wine Shop. Follow his podcast. Do you want to start a tab? And thank y'all for tuning in today. And make sure to follow us as well on Wait You're Mad on Instagram and TikTok. And again, thanks so much.
See you guys next time.
See you.
Bye.